want to share some interesting data related to foods that you can eat to strip off the fat from your liver. Fatty liver disease is huge. I mean, if we're just talking about a non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, we're talking about 1.7 billion people on this planet. And then when you get into fatty liver that's caused by alcohol, that's another huge percent. And this is not counting the people who drink alcohol that develop a fatty liver. So both non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and alcoholic fatty liver disease, same problem, different causes, okay? Now, I'm excited to share a tool that helped me find a lot of this information. It's called elicit.org, okay? It's an incredible search tool. It goes out into, I think, over 200 million research papers, and it helps you find certain pieces of information that are sometimes hard to find when you're doing Google searches. Okay, I'll put a link down below. It's very, very helpful. And so today we're going to talk about the foods that you should be eating to help remove fat from your liver. Well, on the flip side, I should also tell you what foods will worsen the liver. The big one is fructose, okay? The thing that's unique about fructose is that fructose is a type of sugar that cannot be dealt with by all of your cells in your body like glucose, only by your liver cells. So anytime you consume high fructose corn syrup or any type of fructose from fruit, the liver is forced to deal with it. And if you overload the liver with too much fructose, you start developing a fatty liver, even though fructose is low on the glycemic index. And of course, anything that will increase insulin can contribute to a fatty liver. That would be like sugar, refined carbohydrates. There are also other things like inflammation that can cause a fatty liver. And so we have this whole stage of inflammation, a fatty liver, scar tissue of the liver, cirrhosis. And then, of course, you have insulin resistance in the liver that can actually increase more insulin and create more fatty liver. And then, of course, having the fatty liver itself can create more inflammation, which can worsen the insulin resistance. So it's a never-ending cycle. But if you're standing up and you look down at your shoes and you can't see your shoes because of your belly in the way, you definitely have a fatty liver. But even if you don't have a belly, you could still have a fatty liver. That's called skinny fat. And before we get into it, if you have not seen my video on how to remove 50% of the fat off your liver in 2 weeks using the ketogenic diet and intermittent fasting, I will put that link down below. We want foods that also have a good ratio of high omega-3 fatty acids to low omega-6 fatty acids, because omega-3 fats can help remove the fat off the liver. The other thing I want to mention that's also very counterintuitive, short chain fatty acids, they're fats, and they can help get rid of fat off your liver because they can significantly improve insulin resistance. And the way that your body can create short chain fatty acids is by consuming fiber that feed the microbes, and then the microbes make these short chain fatty acids as a byproduct. And I want to mention this before we get into the foods. There's all sorts of phytonutrients, okay, plant-based compounds that dramatically lower inflammation, which can indirectly help you reduce fat on your liver. Curcumin, okay, from turmeric, like resveratrol, which also comes in grapes. And then sometimes people start eating the grapes. The problem is they have fructose, so that's going to counter that effect. Or they might start consuming wine because that has resveratrol. The problem is the alcohol in the wine creates liver damage, so it's not going to help you. Then you have this very powerful compound in green tea, which is EGCG. And even in many supplements or spices, like the phytonutrient in black seed called thymoquinone, is a very powerful compound to help strip fat off your liver. And other things you can do, like fasting especially, and exercise can help decrease fat off your liver. And even the vitamin D from the sun can help you remove fat off the liver. Vitamin A and vitamin E both help reduce fat on your liver. But as far as foods go, let's go ahead and cover that right now. Okay, all of the cruciferous vegetables, significantly help reduce fat on the liver. So we're talking about arugula, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, radish, Swiss chard. You have this high fiber, relatively low carb, low sugar food with the fiber. The other vegetable that's very, very potent for removing fat from the liver is dandelion greens. Now it's a bit thicker, or the texture is a little bit harder to chew. It's not as tender as salad, but I grow dandelion greens in my greenhouse, and it's a really good greens to add to your salad because of its potent liver effects, not just for a fatty liver, but for many other problems with the liver. And salmon, okay, wild caught salmon. Why? Because of the high amounts of omega-3. Omega-3 fats help strip the fat off the liver. But I did find a study by using that tool Elicit that consuming farm-raised salmon worsened the fat on the liver. So you'd want to do wild caught salmon. And then we have olive oil. Olive oil is a certain fat that can help get rid of fat in your liver. Plus, olive oil is very anti-inflammatory, but it has some really good, potent phytonutrients. Just make sure it's not the fake olive oil, which is so common nowadays. So spend a little bit more money on a quality olive oil that actually really will create the effects that you want. Now, probiotics, okay, help get rid of fat on your liver. So that would include probiotic foods like fermented vegetables, especially sauerkraut, kimchi, and you can even use kefir, okay, as a fermented food product that can help you. The next two vegetables, which I'm going to include based on the research I found, garlic and onion, okay, both have very powerful effects on getting rid of fat on your liver. So definitely start including more garlic and onion in your meals. And the last one is not really a food, but it's a drink, coffee. Believe it or not, coffee has the potential to help you strip fat off of your liver. Of course, I'm only going to recommend doing 1 cup because the excess caffeine can keep you up at night. But the caffeic acid and other chemicals in coffee, even caffeine, helps reduce fat on your liver. And green tea and black tea also can help you reduce fat on your liver. So I just wanted to give you some practical things to do if you have a fatty liver. And I put that very important video up of how to get rid of 50% of your fat off the liver within 2 weeks. So check it out. It's right here.